To another Lunar Wisdom author interview. Today I am joined by the beautiful, radiant Stephanie Moyer. Stephanie is one of our authors. She is an intuitive empath, tarot and oracle enthusiast, an eclectic witch, and the CEO and founder of The Conjuring Moon, which is a full moon subscription box service that is launching as we speak. Her vision is to facilitate a safe, non-judgmental space for other divine feminine warriors to explore, develop, and harness their own unique spiritual practices. Stephanie has been working intuitively with the moon cycles for several years, and through her spiritual awakenings has opened up her empathic abilities and fine-tuned her own skills. She has an unquenchable curiosity to learn all she can about spiritual practices and constantly seeks to develop a better understanding of the lunar cycles and how she can incorporate them into her own daily practices. So thank you so much for joining me, Stephanie. I'm so excited to have you as part of this book project. Would you let everybody know just a little bit more about you? So, I mean, obviously, I've just given everyone just a little bit of a sneak peek, but let us know a little bit more.
Sure. Let's go on a more personal level. I am a mom, first and foremost, and a Mimi, my grandchildren. So that's kind of like it. My life really revolves like around my family, and they do come very first in my life. Yeah.
I love that. I think so many of us, so many women can relate to that as well. I think one of the things that really draws us to working with the moon is when we are so firmly rooted and grounded in our families as well, and really seeking that connection and that grounding and that earthing, like that connection between, earth, sea, and sky.
Yeah. And it definitely helps, calm down the noise when we get so busy with our families and in our lives, and it kind of does bring us back and helps us ground us just a little bit, and helps reminds us to take care of us ourselves too. I know for me, I get a little overwhelmed with my family and focus a lot on them to make sure that they are okay and that they're taken care of, they have everything they need, mentally, physically, emotionally, that sometimes I forget that I have to take care of myself too. So when I started diving into working with the lunar cycles, and that one of the main reasons why, first I was drawn to that, but I needed that time for myself. That was also like my quiet time and to reconnect with myself too. So, because I would find like if I wasn't whole, if I didn't feel complete, then I couldn't project that onto them, and I couldn't take care of them the way I wanted to. So it was very important for me to find that time to reconnect with myself. To have my own personality, my own thing. So it's not everything's all about them all the time.
I think that's also one of the things about reconnecting with the divine feminine, is that when we stop pushing and hustling and just, when we are so focused on everybody else's needs and we're putting our own needs to the side, we're very stuck in that masculine energy of just go, 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 go all the time. And when we allow the feminine in, when we allow ourselves to actually slow down and take that time and recognize that we need to put our oxygen mask on first in order to be able to best serve our family, that it's actually a gift to them for us to show up as our best selves, that it stops being about, suppressing our own needs, and really more about that time, like you were saying, that you needed that to reset and to ground, and that is one of the best ways for us to serve and show up for the people that we love, and to be able to provide them with everything that they need. Because if we are running on empty, eventually we crash and burn, and that's no good for anybody.
Correct. And that's, that's happened. I've gotten burned out a lot, and I needed to find a way to keep myself from doing that, so that I am present for them, but also for myself. And you talked about reconnecting with the divine feminine. One thing that what that means to me and has helped me was reconnecting with the divine feminine to me, is trusting in my own tuition, is listening to that and getting back into that. I started finding that everything was starting to get cloudy, and I just couldn't like see, things as clear as I once could. I was questioning a lot of things. Well, what does that mean? Where am I supposed to go? What are they telling me? And I just couldn't see it very clearly until I started getting back into that and trusting my own tuition. And then all of a sudden, it was like a veil just started to lift slowly for me. And then it just became the point to where I know what that means. I know what the universe is trying to say. I recognize that now, instead of like, well, just say it. Just what does all these signs mean?
Isn't it funny when it all starts to fall into place and you're like, oh, I see you, universe. Like, I get you. Thanks.
Yes, absolutely. So that has definitely helped as well. One of the components for it was for me to bring back that clarity back into my life. And it helped everything fall back into place for me, especially when it came to taking care of my daughter and the rest of my family.
I love that. I love it so much. I definitely resonate with all of that. I very strongly believe that reconnecting with the divine feminine is firmly rooted in trusting our intuition and listening to it, and really allowing ourselves to stop focusing on what we think we should be doing and doing the things that we feel called to spend our energy on. Because when we actually do allow ourselves to step into the flow of that energy, it creates miracles.
So true. And we get, as women, we get so caught up into the day and what we're supposed to what that's supposed to look like for us, working and taking care of the children and cleaning the house and taking care of the animals and the pets. And it gets to be so much, and we lose touch with that. We get so used to like doing what is expecting of us that we forget and we lose touch with, well, our own intuition and feelings. It just gets lost into all of the other the masculine energy you said, it just gets lost into that.
Yeah. So I'd love to ask, what was it that drew you then to join us here in the Lunar Wisdom Book Project?
So short answer was it just resonated with me, and it was kind of like synonymous with my business. Long version. So, I talked about me working with like the lunar cycles. And one thing that I was not only trying to get back was, with trusting my intuition and getting clarity back into my life, but also was to get past this fear that has just rooted into my life. And over the past like decade or so, through other events that had happened leading up to that, I just got this fear, and I wanted so bad to let that fear go because it was holding me back in a huge way. So as I was working with the lunar cycles and started to manifest, I knew that I wanted to own my own business. I knew I wanted to bring, magic out into the world. I just wasn't sure what that looked like and how I was going to do that. So when I saw this and I started the Conjuring Moon, and I saw that, and I'm like, I can't ignore these signs anymore. This is a sign. This is like, I've always wanted to write a book. I have 1,000,001 titles going through my head. As we speak, I've wrote things throughout the decades. So I was like, I have to dive into this. I have to know more about this because the universe just put this in front of me. And so now I have to thank you, universe, and I have to answer it.
I love that
You can ignore it. Like, okay, I'm manifesting this. So I had to push my fear aside. And it was a good practice for me, and just, and dive in and do it. Is it still scary? Hell yeah, this is scary. My business is scary. It's all scary, but it's good. This is a good scary. It's a good feeling. And it just gets, as time goes on, and the more and more I write, the more I talk about it, the less scary it gets. I don't
Mm.
feel that paralyzed fear like I once did. And it just all helped. So yeah, for me it was to get past, the fear, and to answer the universe. I'm manifesting it. Okay, well, here it is. Thank you, universe.
Beautiful. Um, and Laurie must either be seeing my cat or your cat, because I know mine's been moving around. And so Laurie, who is one of our co-authors in the Lunar Wisdom book, says that just confirms that the universe was sending you here as well. So
Yeah.
yay. And we also had the beautiful Jessica, whose comment I put up earlier as well. She's another one of our co-authors. So we are so excited to have you guys watching with us today as well. If anybody else is watching, please do feel free, drop us a comment, and we would love to feature you on our feed as well. Sending you loads of love, Laurie.
You guys.
So Stephanie, what story? So now that you've said yes and you've pushed past that fear and you're getting ready to, submit your chapter, what story is it that you're excited to be sharing in this book? What is it that you're really hoping to share with the world?
So my story right now is focusing on how my business came to be, how the Conjuring Moon came to be, and some of the hurdles that I had to overcome in order to get here. It didn't look like it does now. I didn't start off with wanting to do a subscription box. That was not even on my radar. So that's kind of like what I'm writing about. I've gone through a lot of hurdles. I can only talk about like one. So I chose one to talk about, but I think more is to come after this chapter, after this book, to talk more about it. And, one of the things that I want people to know, especially women who are taking care of not only themselves, but families, and trying to find their place, in this world, is that it's all okay. When you struggle, when we have things that go on in our lives, and you think that, oh, this is it, I can't do this, the universe is telling me, no, 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 that's not the case. It's all going to be okay. It's all leading you into a place to where you're supposed to be. And life is just a bunch of hurdles, and that's what we all have to do and overcome. And it's part of growth. All of the challenges that I faced in my life and everything that got thrown at me was just part of my growth. I didn't see that at that time. I see it now. I see how it's all grown and led my family to grow, and led to this. So that's my kind of chapter in a nutshell.
Oh, I can't wait to read it. I think there is definitely so much that everyone can resonate with that. I know I have often read about how growth doesn't happen in the easy places. Growth happens in the chaos, and that is when we have our quantum leaps, when everything feels like it's falling apart all at the same time, and it just cracks us open. And when we emerge from the other side, and we can't feel it at the time, because like you said, you're like, it didn't feel like it was growth at the time. It didn't feel like it was awesome. It feels dark, and it feels messy, and it feels painful when we're going through it. But when we emerge on the other side and we look back, and we're like, we're just not the same people anymore.
Oh, that's so true. And that's okay. That's it's all okay. We get through everything, and not to let those, tear you down, because on the other side, it is going to be brighter and it's going to look so much better. And I do firmly believe that some of the struggles that I faced, with my children, it was, could I have done, and what is this trying to tell me? How can I heal from this too? So that I can better help them, and
Mm.
it was this very chaotic but beautiful, journey of just breaking down all of these walls and all of these barriers, and, to come out on the other side just a little bit better and with a little bit more clarity.
Mm. I love that. And as you were speaking, it really reminded me that so many people don't realize that when they work with the lunar cycles, that there's going to be a, pardon my French, fuck ton of shadow work that comes up with that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Not to be afraid of it. Don't run from it. Don't run from that. Embrace it. It's scary at first and it sucks. It so sucks. But it's just, you don't, like you said, I mean, you've said it, we can say it 101 times. You don't feel it when you're going through it, but it's beautiful at the end of it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And if you want to,
Oh,
it's a necessary part of growth. If you do want those things in life and you want a little bit more clarity, and you want to grow and you want things to change in your life, it's a necessity. It's so important.
yeah, it absolutely is. I don't know if I shared with you guys, which I might have, that my word for 2021 was illuminate.
Hmm.
And when I chose it, I had this inkling from the universe that it was not just about like shining my light more in 2021. It was also going to be about shining a light on all of the shadow work that needed to be cleared to help me move along. And oh my God, 2021 was like shadow work all year, like so much dismantling and so much like unpacking and releasing. And yeah, it was really messy.
Yeah, it shook my belief. 2021 was like that for me too. It shook me to my core. It really did. It just, my whole foundation actually crumbled. But it was a good thing because we were able to rebuild it, and with the pieces that fit this time. And it looks, it's just better.
Yeah. Laurie's saying the moon's in Scorpio today and she's still going through it. I know from talking to Laurie before that she's very sensitive to the moon in Scorpio, but let me tell you, this Scorpio moon, like everybody around me seems to be like melting down yesterday and today. I'm just saying. So it's
Yeah.
like you can't make this stuff up because when you track it against the signs or the houses that the moon is in or whatever, just the synchronicities are all there around us if we're willing. Like you were saying before, when you start noticing those signs from the universe and you see them, you're just like, oh my God, they're so obvious.
Yes. 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 Like I said, the veil is lifted. Yeah. I'm a Scorpio, so yeah, it's been pretty intense lately.
And of course, we're launching our book on the new moon in Scorpio. So it's going to be a wild freaking ride for us, right?
Take a deep breath.
And we've got eclipse energy as well.
We'll get through it. I'm setting up like some major like altars, and yeah, lighting candles and getting into Zen, and yeah, I'll be doing that for days leading up to that.
Yeah. Um, so, in line with that, tell us a little bit more about the kinds of methodologies and things like that that you use in your moon practices. Like, what elements do you bring in?
So my favorite is water. And it kind of like, I'm not, kind of surprises me a little bit, but um, I I have to, like, when I'm immersed in water during, my meditation sessions and stuff, that feels home to me. I don't know how else to kind of explain that, but that like brings me a sense of calm that I really can't find anywhere else.
Mm.
And also, like when I meditate, immersed in water, it's a little stronger. I feel I can dive deeper into that meditative state. Um, yeah, and I'm doing, you know, practicing with that, and trying to get a little bit more deeper with it. So yeah, the water is definitely my favorite. Candles, so fire. I kind of bring all of the elements into it. So yeah, candles galore.
Yeah, I love a good candle.
Oh, I'll have a lot of them, many of them. Love the glow of it. Yeah.
Mm. It's funny that you should say water because I've recently just been working through Rebecca Campbell's new Inner Temple Mystic School, and she talks about how water is sacred, like everything on this planet is made up of water, and that water actually kind of contains like these like metaphysical, magical like memories and vibrational frequencies, and that when we work with water, all of that energy, and so it just goes back into the collective and the memory, and like there is so much magic to be found when we work with water. So the fact that you are drawn to it, that it is your element as well. I'm a Cancer sun, so I feel very connected with water too. And Laurie was just saying she's a Taurus and she loves to meditate in the garden barefoot, so she's very grounded. So like our elements do really show up for us, I think,
Yeah.
and in the ways that we work. And so I love that you bring water into your moon practices as well.
Yeah, and you know, it's also when you say like the water is like when you were talking about that, we are also made up of water. So it only makes sense that on a certain level, you know, the moon we does affect us during certain cycles. You know,
Oh,
absolutely. You know, I mean, the
for
science
sure.
evidence is there. You know, so yeah, when I am immersed in water, I feel that connection stronger.
Yeah. It's it is one of those things that they have done studies, and they know that when, well, I mean, they've known for years that the moon affects the ocean tides, right? It affects fishing. I mean, these are not things that are up for debate. This is not witchy shit. This is just normal, real life stuff. And it's crazy to think that when we are something like 65 or 75% water ourselves, that we're not also feeling that gravitational pull from the moon when it is closer, like when we have the super moons, when like its magnetic pull is like so much stronger than when it's at its furthest point away, when it's like the micro moons.
Hmm.
It makes so much sense that we feel things so much more intensely, and that we also feel that we can connect better with those energies in water. So yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I've always felt it ever since I was a little girl. That's been my whole life. I mean, there was no way that I could like deny that. You know, I've always felt a connection to the moon and to the cycles and to the planets, and you know, that's I've always known we were connected to it in some way.
Beautiful. So tell us a little bit more about your subscription box company, because obviously your whole business revolves around the moon, and very specifically the full moons. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about that, because I'm super excited because it's launching at the moment. And just for everybody out there, I did buy a box. I'm just saying I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it shipped to me here in Italy, but I
Not
did
yet.
send it as not yet, but I did send one as a gift to somebody to celebrate a special occasion. So,
Yes, and that was amazing. I'm that was like my first box I shipped out. So thank you for that. And I'm so glad she loved it. Yeah, so that was another reason why, like I said, yes. I'm like, you know, it's so crazy how all of it just came to be. So yeah, the Conjuring Moon is the subscription box, and it does follow the full moon cycle. So, the full moon is what I resonate with. And I know a lot of others do. So it does, it will have in it different, oh, thank you, Lori, different things in it to help with the meditation or the ritual aspect during a full moon cycle. So this month, I don't want to give too much away of what was in the box this month because I want it to be a surprise.
I won't tell either.
But but actually, I think the products in for the October full moon kind of goes hand in hand with what we're doing here and writing with the book and journaling. So that's all I'm going to say for that. So I thought that was very important. I was going to start off with a metaphysical store. So life happened, things happened in my life that just transformed, and now I'm doing the subscription box. I actually had a dream of me holding a box and talking about like the full moon, and I woke up, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to start a subscription box. And everybody's like, what? Yeah, I'm going to start a subscription box. And I just dove head into it. It just felt so right for me. And that was one of the signs where, okay, universe, I got you. I see you. We'll do the full moon. So, but it really, you'll be able to use those anytime, but it is just for that kind of like niche. But anytime you want to reconnect and just ground yourself and meditate, that's basically what it's for. It's just going to get better. I have so many ideas, so many things for it. Yeah, this is just the beginning,
Well, for those of you who might be thinking of buying a box, I can tell you that knowing what's in there, and of course, like I don't have it, but I was there when it was unboxed via Zoom, and the stuff that's in it is just incredible. Like it is such good value for the price that it is, and the things that are in there were very, very well received. It was beautiful. So I know that everyone is going to be super happy if they manage to get into your store and order one before they all run out, because I'm sure they're going to be very popular.
Yes. Yeah. So I do have a few left. It is the 28th. So my goal, I am going to shut off the ordering here shortly because of the October full moon, I think is the 9th.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere around between the 9th and the 12th or something, because it's about somewhere in that weekend there.
Yeah, so about a week yet. I will keep the cart open for about another week or until they sell out, whichever comes first. So yeah.
So if people did want to go and check you out on social media or go and order a box, where can they find you?
Instagram at The Conjuring Moon, Facebook, The Conjuring Moon, and also my website is www.theconjuringmoonbox.com. Did you get that, Lori?
Yeah. So let us know in the comments if that was clear. So www.theconjuringmoonbox.com.
Yes.
So yes, awesome. Well, Stephanie, we are so excited to have you as part of Lunar Wisdom. I know that everyone is going to love your full moon boxes as well. And I'm really looking forward to reading your story. It looks like Jess has also managed to pick up one of your boxes as well. Thank you, Jessica. Oh my goodness. And Laurie says that was super clear as well. So she's going to go and order herself a box now. So
you guys
look at us go.
Hi, ladies. No, I'm super excited to be on this journey with everybody. I've been manifesting, you guys. I've been manifesting this I just didn't know what it looked like, but now everybody and everything is just coming in and coming clear, and it just fills my heart, makes my soul happy. So yeah, I'm just so excited.
Yeah, me too. And so is Laurie. She's so excited as well. I have to agree though. When I had the vision for the Lunar Wisdom book back in March, and it came through so clearly, and I spent like a whole day just writing down everything about like who I wanted in the book and like what it was going to be about and all of the things, most of which then ended up becoming my website content later. But I had this vision for what I wanted to create with the book, that I wanted to bring in all of these amazing lunar women who worked with the moon in completely different ways, had completely different perspectives and backgrounds, to really showcase that there is no one way to work with the moon, that there is only your way and my way, and that each of our own ways is perfect for us. And that it doesn't matter if we're new, it doesn't matter if we've been doing it for years, that what we bring to the table still can inspire somebody else, because somebody who's new might bring in a fresh perspective that somebody else hadn't thought of before. Somebody who's been doing it for a long time might bring that experience and wisdom that somebody else is yearning for. But then you have, you might work with astrology, or you might work with yoga. Some of our authors are, we've got somebody coming in, a new person coming in who's a shaman as well. So we've got witches, we've got high priestesses, we've got people who work with crystals and herbs, and I just cannot get over how beautifully the universe brought all of the exact right women into my life, women who could see my vision as well for what this book could be. And now watching as you guys are starting to send in your chapters and send in your spell work and stuff for the spell book section, and it just fills my heart with so much joy. Like, you guys really are so beyond amazing and incredible and inspiring. And I love the way that you guys are all bonding, and that there's been talk of like having a reunion this time next year in Salem. Like, it's so freaking expansive, and I'm just so excited. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And thank you, Jess, and thank you, Laurie, for being here, not just watching, but also thank you for being in the book with us too, because I really love you guys. Like, I love you all so much.
Oh, I love you guys.
Yeah. And so just if anyone is watching or catching the replay and is thinking, oh my God, I want to get in on this love fest, you probably have about like 3 days to jump in and say, oh my God, yes, Tracy, I want in. I want to write a book, or like I want to write a story in Lunar Wisdom, because we are launching the book on the 25th of October for the new moon eclipse in Scorpio. So chapters, like, if you are like, oh my God, this is a full body hell yes, I want in on this, I will need your chapters in my hand in 2 weeks' time. By the 15th of October, after that, it's a no-go. So if you want to dive in, I have very, very limited spaces left, and you can have until the end of this week. So Sunday, I don't even know what the date is. So you can have until the 2nd of October, basically. So if anyone does want to dive in, feel free. You can come and join our coven. That's okay. We would love to have you, because as you can see, we're just one big love fest here. And we like to make it weird, because that's what we do. And you should see our message chat.
Love it.
Oh, so good. It's so good. So yes, you can join us if you would like to. I will drop the details in the comments with the website address, or it may already be in the show notes. I forget. But thank you so much for being with us, Stephanie. And everybody, if you would like to follow Stephanie and check her out online, her details are in the show notes, but also check out the conjuringmoonbox.com and make sure you grab one of the last full moon October subscription boxes, because the stuff in there is absolutely fire and you will not regret it.
Thank
Do you have any last words? Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, and we will see you again another time. Thanks for being with us today. Lots of love.
Bye, Tracy. Bye, guys.
Bye.